One of the newest public art installations at Virginia Tech is actually quite old. It's made from wood from a historic tree that grew at Colonel William Preston's Smithfield. Those grounds at Smithfield are now the grounds at Virginia Tech. And that tree, the Mary tree, was important to the enslaved people at Smithfield, and that legacy continues to today.
The Mary tree was the place or the location in which the enslaved community used to gather for meetings, religious ceremonies, celebrations, and when I say celebrations, I also mean homegoing services and funerals during the period of enslavement. So the Fraction family, for example, was enslaved there for at least 4 generations at the same place. And so it was always a consistent gathering at that place. What we've learned as we find on the descendants, and we started going back to Smithfield to do the work that we're doing and to visit, was that while we didn't feel a connection or homecoming to the Smithfield house, there was something about the Mary tree and the place where it was that attracted every descendant that we came down, including myself. The first time I went to Smithfield, I paused and stared up at the tree from the top of the hill before I even knew what it was. And the executive director of Smithfield at the time, she thought it was very interesting that I was drawn to that tree because of the history of it. And she says, "Do you know what that is?" And that's when she explained that that was the Mary tree and the tree for the gathering space.
So we have the berry tree that has arrived today, and we're going to be taking and milling that tree up all the way down to the branches, and we're going to be slabbing several of the larger logs for some benches and stuff that they want to have on campus at Virginia Tech. We're also going to be taking it right down to the 5 to 6 inch diameter trees, making coasters and making small pieces for sculptures and anything else that alumnus or students at Virginia Tech can use this tree for, because it is such a special tree that they've had on campus. They've been looking for years, what to do with this tree. And Jamie King and I have worked together before, and we're trying to come up with something for Virginia Tech to be able to use trees on campus for projects on campus, especially trees like this with the history that the Mary tree has.
The Virginia Department of Forestry was excited to be part of the Mary Tree project, in which we served as a technical advisor and also were able to help coalesce a diverse partnership which honored the legacy of this historic oak tree. This project is a great example of how the Urban Wood Program is able to utilize parts of the tree to make products which will memorialize the tree and its legacy for many generations to come. A living memorial to a great tree that has historical significance on the Virginia Tech campus.
I'm Charlie Brower, and I'm an artist who was selected for a project at Virginia Tech. They were looking for sculptures and installations to be placed on campus that would help create a visual way of thinking about their history. And they were using a phrase, they were exploring the layered history of Virginia Tech. And I enjoyed that idea that history has layers, and that Virginia Tech was interesting exploring those, especially ones that weren't so well known about. Like the land that Virginia Tech is built on was also plantations. And plantations had slave laborers that were there. And that is a layer of Virginia Tech's history that they were interested in exploring. So I conceived of a project that would invite viewers and visitors to think about those very things that Virginia Tech was trying to spend time thinking about. So I thought of a circle of benches where people could sit, and to invite people to come and sit on the benches. I would place 4 of my life-size figures of a man and a woman and a boy and a girl kind of scattered around the 7 benches so that it looks occupied and it might encourage people to have a seat. In the center of the circle, I'll be making a sculpture of a tree using wood from the Mary tree oak that was on the grounds of Smithfield Plantation, one of the plantations whose grounds the campus is built on. And the title of the whole installation will be Think on These Things. It's trying to do literally or visually what Virginia Tech was trying to do in terms of research.
Trees in cities and towns, trees on college campuses, trees in the urban environment, they create places and spaces, and those places are places where people gather. Those trees are often witnesses to human activity. That's very much what the Mary Tree was, which gives us the opportunity to work together as a community and build this new gathering place where people can have a dialogue, people can reflect on the past, talk about the future. And as an urban forester, this project was extra special to me to be able to use a resource that often goes to waste to create something new for the future.